Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll look into a scenario in which the Middle East disappeared. So yeah, the Middle East is Iran, Turkey, Yemen, Egypt, between those countries. And let's say Russia still manages to lose the war in Ukraine, but they manage to keep Crimea due to the fact that they're able to hold more money for this war. They use that to their advantage. But, although managing to keep Crimea, I don't see any scenarios really where that's possible. But for the sake of today's video, that is what happened. Because, yeah, as their bad record with war starts to be unnoticed, as they managed to storm into Georgia and storm into Azerbaijan. That would be a simple task for Russia, even if it was the 5th strongest nation, or 6th, or 10th. Well, I guess if they're the 2nd strongest, that must mean everyone is weak. And plus, how do we know the US isn't like that? They've never been into war in a while. With Russia having an easy task done, moralizing its own population, seeing that expansion is possible. Also, for this video, NATO is disbanded. And Belarus still collapses, because why wouldn't they? With countries like Bulgaria becoming strong, Turkey has become weak because they're only left to Istanbul now. And with Kazakhstan seeing Russia's strength, they show off their strength. Why would they do this? So they can get more of the access to this water. With them declaring war on Turkmenistan. And all they really want is the coast, basically, is all their desire is for some reason. With them doing that before the country starts resisting, the resistance slows down the offensive. As you can tell, Kazakhstan annexes this territory. As then they decide to just continue their expansionist track. Why would they do this? Because it's convenient to them. But not to say that they wouldn't be a territory that people would want lands out of because of their... With Afghanistan becoming a powerful nation instead of being doubly landlocked. Wait, no, they're not. Not Kyrgyzstan. Only Uzbekistan really is. But they wouldn't be anymore. They'd only be singly landlocked. Well, they wouldn't even be landlocked now because they would be a part of the Kazakh Union. Why would it be called? The Turkic Union is what they call it. As they fight for the independence of Azerbaijan. But fails. But they can't really fight, but they've tried to help them in any way they can. But Russia and China is growing hungry for these lands. And America is just being America. As I'm seeing that some areas are realistic. As they build the United States of Somalia and build an alliance called the Freedom Squad. Yep, we got a name, a good name. As to best, but yeah. Somalia and Canada, eventually Ukraine, Poland, and the Baltics decide to join this. This alliance may look more powerful than it actually is. And this alliance launching an armed incursion into Afghanistan because they try again, because they see this is more realistic than the last time that they had to leave, as they can just land their ships there, with the Americans using their navy and everybody else following with the navy. This is how the invasion goes. With Kazakhstan joining this armed invasion, just because it's convenient to them, along with Pakistan doing this, because they see they can get land out of it and get on better favor with the West. Which, yeah. This causes some tensions with India, with Pakistan invading and the Turkic Union. It seems like this actually worked out. with an agreement being made saying that America would give away some of the land, but would establish Afghanistan as its puppet, basically. They're joining the Freedom League. And so, ends up looking more like this. And this is not great, because that means America has lost land in this invasion, with Kazakhstan and Pakistan agreeing to set the border right here in a straight line, which is irritating because it's too much of a line. Yep. And so, yeah, with the United States of Pakistan being formed and the United States of Afghanistan, these two join the Americans' League. With India disappointed in this, claiming a lot of stuff about it. But America also does its incursion into a few nations, which ends up starting a bit of a war. Yep, in North Africa, to form the United States of places. With Somalia wanting Ethiopian land out of this, almost seems improbable that they will lose. With their allies in the north landing here, which include Ukraine, which makes the fall of Libya. The fall of Ethiopia happens rather quick. Then Eritrea is to fall. As we know, Chad is, because, yeah. And then eventually Evra is fallen. America forms the United States of Djibouti, the United States of Eritrea, and the United States of North Africa. They want as much control as they can have here. And now there's a bit of a treaty drawn over the Horn of Africa. The United States of Somalia wanting a big chunk. Ethiopia, as parts are gave to Somalia, parts are kept Ethiopia, then the United States of Oromo and the United States of Tigray is formed. India being neutral at this point, but kinda ends up going a bit bad. With Greece and that's left to Istanbul joining. But Russia forms a different alliance. That's to counter this one, which will include Russia, China. India joins for some reason. They all want to stop Western expansion, and France is just like, yeah, we'll join. Same with Italy and Algeria, which leaves Morocco to join a different team. And then the Lowlands joins this alliance. And this is all that really happens with these guys joining. And then, before the end of this video, where the big war breaks out, we'll have to have a tiny war. Which happened with China and Russia planning to overtake Kazakhstan. Well, what was Kazakhstan turned into Central Asia, so they both invade for land. With the Western forces just establishing a bit of a buffer zone here, just in case they do win. Which they do send aid to, but they did buffer a bit of the area. And they plan to make it like a tinier Central Asia. With the Central Asia about to fall, as China and Russia has taken out this much land, the West just goes in and takes what's left for themselves. Why did they do that? Because it's the most beneficial to them. And so a treaty is signed. Or on Pakistan. Which the big problem is that this includes all of this pact. Although the U.S. is going to have to be quick in its response, not to here. They see this area is going to fall. They know that. But they see this African area. Europe's where they're most concerned about, because that's where all their power lies. And let's see how it goes. With India starting the offensive into Pakistan. With them making and taking Karachi. That's their first offensive. There's two offensives that happen at the same time. One in the north, which manages to take the capital and big chunks of Kashmir. Then Russia moves in from the north into this weaker territories. And then the stronger ones, they can't move as fast, but even with the resistance that's being put on, they're not really pushing it, getting pushed back. They're just being slowed down. So what should have took a week now takes a month. With Russia launching its third invasion of Ukraine, whatever it is. Well, then again, technically they did invade Ukraine in World War II. But this is where France and Italy and Algeria has joined the conflict. With this being a humiliating defeat for Benelux. Hey, the UK was in this back. Why didn't I join it? I don't know what it was. With Morocco falling and the rest of North Africa is definitely going to fall. With India making a landing here, along with Russian and Chinese troops, they managed to move in deep into Africa because there's not much resistance being put on. Considering most of these nations were forced to the American side, so they're not really resisting. With a fall in North Africa and the look of a fall of Europe, due to all of these nations being only focused on Europe. It seems very likely to the US, who has come up with a plan as they launch an invasion of Britain. And they launch one in the Sardinia. No, not Sardinia, Sicily, and it moves up. They take these islands. And Germany and its ally, Poland, goes on the offensive this way. Which has one problem. It allows Russian offensive in this area. But let's remember, Russia isn't the strongest nation, chances are, in this scenario. They probably are one of them. But we forgot one thing. The Americans had no wars already, really, from in their home country. With the complete destruction of France and Italy occurring. With India agreeing to a treaty with the West, in which they take all of Pakistan, which the West agrees. So India leaves the war. And China's like, yeah, that works. And China and India realizing this is just Russia's and Algeria's war at this point. They don't come to an agreement over that, but yeah. With Russia being very angry at this, but there's nothing they can do. With the American invasion of Somalia beginning, why would they invade there? Not only did they invade there, they invade over here. They invade here. They invade over here, and they swiftly move through here, as Algeria is not strong compared to the millions of troops they're sending. Of them taking Chad out, as most of this now is just held by Russia, which didn't have enough troops to keep this a hold of. With a landing in Greece, this being seen as the end of Russia's southern front, and Algeria completely falls after an offensive made by the Americans and British. Yep, the British are involved, but they're not colored because they aren't. But yeah, as we can see in North America, the U.S. also isn't colored, but that's because we're focused in Europe, so it doesn't really make a difference. It's the fall of Poland beginning as they move into Afghanistan. And eventually, Russia's fall from the areas of Europe that were more important. With America making an invasion here, Ukraine making an invasion here, with this being the new, with Russia agreeing to a peace treaty that's not harsh on them, but they don't annex the Baltics, but they get a small slither of land from them, though. And so let's see what the treaty looked like. South Africa, the United States of Europe also includes Italy, but Lion isn't. United Turkic Union is also doing good, as it has annexed Azerbaijan and parts of Russia, along with Azerbaijan is part of Russia. But as we can see, China and India avoided punishment by leaving the war early. That was a smart choice. Why wouldn't they? They were like, oh wait, this isn't looking good, let's leave. And as we can see, Ethiopia's falling apart. But yeah, that's okay. Moldova and Romania are united. That's a good thing. The Baltics are about to unite, but yeah, I didn't unite them yet. But they are united. Keep that in mind. Just like Italy's part of that. And yeah. That's all for today's video. Please subscribe. If we got 120 to go till our subscribers special. So please subscribe so we get 1,400 by November 1st. That's all for today's video. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys.